Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to
The most hated K-pop idols of 2025 so far.
Us Espa.
We're still only
It definitely is Espa.
Think so? We seen
Yeah.
Blackpink, yeah. New
Um.
Jeans. There's a lot, honestly.
Yeah, Espa, New Jeans,
Blackpink. There's a lot.
Blackpink,
There's a
a
lot.
lot.
halfway through the year, but the K-pop industry has already been filled with
What about some
controversies,
guys?
turning some of its most
BTS
beloved.
getting
Yeah, I
hate.
feel like BTS
BTS
getting hit
getting
for no
hate.
reason too.
Everyone's getting
They just came out.
ADP. Yeah.
ADP for sure.
Everybody,
Uh,
essentially.
yeah. Let's see.
Idols into the most hated. From all-day projects Tarzan to Karina and Jungkook, here are the most hated K-pop idols of 2025, at least so far. Jaewon, also known as Tarzan,
not
is
bad if
already
you
one
made
of the
this
most
list,
talked about idols, and not for the best reasons.
Yeah, I think like there's people to get hated for good reasons, like NCT Teal. That's different. But if you
Wait, I don't want to be on the same list with
no, that's what I'm saying. So
Okay.
on that list, okay, that's.
Oh,
But I
wow.
feel like a lot in K-pop, the more popular you are, the more get hated you get. So the fact that you're the most hated just means you're popular.
Even before his debut in the Black Label's new co-ed group All Day Project, controversy was already following him. Fans started side-eyeing him after seeing his Instagram, where he repeatedly wore box braids, cornrows, and other hairstyles tied to black culture, not just for photo shoots or campaigns, but in his everyday style. Other pictures of him with grills, duregs, and his frequent use of Ave made the backlash grow even more.
Now, I have to say this again because some of you guys still don't get it, or maybe you're new to the channel and you haven't seen our previous videos about this thing, appropriation. The issue is not that he likes the hairstyle. The issue is if black people do it, if black people dress how he dresses, wear the hairstyles he dresses, they face harassment, workplace discrimination, they get fired, they get told at work to not do it, to fix their hair, to have a wide hairstyle. Him doing that and not being in the culture or just doing it for clout, it's taking something that black people can't even do and using it for his success. That is the problem. If he truly likes it and he appreciates and he's with the culture, there's nothing wrong with that. It is wrong if he's using it to without actually like being part of the culture and enjoying it. He's just chasing cloud with it.
Because outside of that, I don't see him making this list if he wasn't doing those things.
Yes, because
Would he be still talked
would
about?
people be talking about
Is
it if
he
he didn't make
still
if he do that?
talented? Does he
Yeah.
still have like something to show?
That's the problem. It's not that black people own this look and nobody else can do it. No, as it because we still got some comments why why is that problematic? That is the problem because black people can't do it. They have to wear white hairstyles, white passing hairstyles. They have to dress like white folks. They can't wear the pants sagging, but he can. How is that fair? That's the issue.
I also explained in another video
You did,
that
but
for people, like, there's nothing wrong with doing the look. In my personal take, is just what is your intentions behind it, like if you truly appreciate the style, appreciate it, but be mindful that some people may look at you and say, okay, what is your intention behind it? Or do you have some manipulation that you're trying to do, or you're doing this for attention seeking?
no, I just wanted to say that because I feel like some people don't understand
Yeah,
it. Why
I know,
why
I
it's like
know.
black people feel like they own the look.
Oh.
It's not. It's just gentrification basically, and it's like honestly, what is that song? Jay-Z. He talks about chitlings and
It's like
four
a
for
lot
four.
of things that
It
people have to do in the African American community, that they have to do for survival. Like with braids, the history of braids, it was to create like a code to show routes how to free yourself. So it's like a lot of historical, cultural, background is
it's
that surrounds this hairstyle,
it
for where people outside the culture, when they want to do it, they do it and it's nice, but they don't really know the history of
yeah.
it. And it's okay not to know the complete history, but then to also say, we see these same stars make comments that are against the black community. So you wonder, okay, you take the good things, but you're not understanding the history of this culture, of this community.
It's like that song. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. So it's like if black people do something that's part of their culture is a problem, but when white person or Asian person takes it and does it, oh, it's cool. That is the problem.
I think people are most likely able to understand this when it hits home, So when you see something that's particularly to your community and you grew up on it and you understand the history and the background of why your community does it, and you see someone outside your community trivializing it and making it a joke, then that's when you can really truly understand the situation. So I understand if people are not going to get it, even though people take the time to explain it. There's plenty of content online to explain this. People, kind of oftentimes make a choice to how they want to believe. That's fine. That's on you. But the information is out there. If you have questions, I'm free to like explain and answer. But at some point, you got to make a choice how you really feel about this, because at this point you're just choosing to just be what you call that, ignorant. You're just choosing that, even though you have someone from the community that's willfully wanting to explain to you.
If you really not want to fight, but actually want to understand, join the Discord, tag her, and then she can talk to you.
Fueling growing calls for him to be removed from the group before he was even introduced. Things got messier.
Someone did ask me before when it came from another idol from Treasure, Suk.
Yeah, the guy with the green hair.
Yes, and I explained, we explained that. I was very consistent with the same thing. It's just, we don't know his intentions, his feelings towards this hairstyle. Why is he doing it? But it was never coming across, oh, he can't do the look.
I ain't gonna lie, now looking now, I do feel like he just was chasing clout.
You think so? Why you say that?
That Treasure completely changed the branding. They're no longer hip hop. He's no longer doing
but
that.
I don't think that's him. I think that's just, the company say, okay, you can't do this look anymore, because that's not what they're going for. They want to now be kind of like a brand.
Okay, but so to say that they did the look for the clout.
I don't know. For me, I just think that you get a little bit more attention in the K-pop world when you do this look, so you end up naturally in the media, which is what ultimately I see that's what they want to in the first place. So I can see that.
Here, when people noticed he was following Tory
But
Lanez,
I know where it comes from. I know where it comes from, and everyone seems to know where it comes from, because they hold like, oh, why are you doing such and such look? It's not like everyone believes, oh, this is like his original thought, his original look.
Right.
I think everyone kind of sees it. Oh, are you there? And they ask the question, are you doing this for attention? They kind of question. It's not like, because what happened before here in the States is like, for example, when Kim Kardashian, she came out with a braided look, she was saying this is Bo Derek braids, and everyone had to drag her because she was rebranding this look to something else that it is not. Bo Derek braids is like from a movie of someone else, which is not where these braids come from. But I don't see in the K-pop world they're doing that. Everyone seems to know this is coming from the Black community. Everyone seems to know that. They just question what is the intention of it. And what I'm okay with is what I see is that it's been consistent with Tarzan that, oh, he also wears this look outside of his performance. It seems like that's his day-to-day look. As opposed to where I see Lisa, she does it for this campaign, but then another campaign she looks completely different. Yeah. So I'm like, girl.
And Lisa, yes, but if you let's stop picking K-pop. Ariana Grande, same thing.
Yeah, like it's like it was a phase.
It's very similar.
A phase where it seems like it was for attention. Yeah. So a lot of people say, is this for attention?
Yeah.
Of multiple crimes, including an incident involving Megan Thee
Where
Stallion.
I can't do that for attention. That's my everyday. Like,
and it's not even for attention. I think that's the key point. I don't know if I was clear enough when they do it for attention, and they get attention for you. You get penalized for doing it. That is the issue.
To the growing backlash. The Black label didn't ease tensions when Chaewon appeared with cornrows in the group's first teasers and their debut video Famous. Some defended him, stating he might simply be influenced by growing up in the US and trying to fit in, but many called it for what it was, appropriating a culture he doesn't belong to. So far, the Black label and Chaewon have stayed silent, although Chaewon quietly unfollowed Tory Lanez after the controversy, which is a clear sign they're aware of the backlash, even if they're choosing.
Chaewon? Who's Chaewon?
Wait.
Appropriating a culture he doesn't belong to. So far, the Black label and Chaewon have stayed silent, although Chaewon quietly unfollowed Tory.
Him?
Chaewon.
That's his real name? I guess his real name.
Oh, that's his real name? So he didn't follow Tory Lanez. Interesting.
lanes after the controversy, which is a clear sign they're aware of the backlash, even if they're choosing not to speak up directly. Blackpink might be one of the biggest groups in K-pop, but that doesn't mean they're scandal-free. In fact, this year, a controversy hit them hard, and many people are still mad about it. It all started back in March, when someone who claimed to be a former YG Entertainment employee, who was allegedly angry after losing their job, began threatening to release sensitive information about some of the industry's most powerful companies. This person, calling themselves the YG leaker, said they had a massive amount of data, which was said to be multiple terabytes that could back up serious accusations against not just YG, but also SM, Hybe, Cube, RBW, and more. Some of the files that made waves were pre-debut videos featuring Blackpink members alongside trainees who didn't make it into their groups, including Idol's Mion. But the footage that really got people talking were clips of Jennie, Lisa, and Rosé covering popular songs and using the N-word while singing. At first, some insisted the recordings were fake or made by AI, but that claim fell apart pretty quickly. Supporters then said the videos were from years before Blackpink's debut in 2016, when the members were still
No, she said, oh, this controversy hit him hard. I don't feel like it hit them at all. I feel like everybody forgot about it. Like, I really don't feel like they got hit. But now, who got hit by a controversy is Kiss of Life. They got hit hard.
Because they actually face repercussions for it. Like,
Blackpink,
they face a loss.
Yeah, Blackpink, all their stands are just saying, oh, it's all a long time ago. It doesn't mean nothing. And you guys said the people that, because this is not the first time it's leaked. Jenny it's been leaked years ago. So people that were already upset by it left back then. So
it's not that, this was something that happened a long time ago. The thing is, it was never addressed.
Yeah, it was never addressed. Yeah.
teenagers.
I feel like it would be different if it happened then to Jenny. Jenny addressed it then, and now it came out. Like, you can't say expect Jenny to say something like that. I already said it. My bad. Like,
because to me, what's weird is that they do this, they never address it, and they're still active in the community. Like, they still go work with Black artists.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing for me.
Involved in, they do styles from the community. So it's kind of odd to me.
That's the weirdest thing, is that these people, they have in their album, they collab with Black artists. Like, and you don't say nothing.
And that the word appeared in song covers, not in their own dialogue. Others demanded an explanation or an apology, arguing that the incident shouldn't be ignored, especially since the members were trying to break into the Western music market. So far, there's been no response from the members or their label, and many think there probably won't be one, at least not anytime soon. One scandal that really stood out this year involves Kiss of Life and Julie's birthday livestream that went completely off the rails. On April 2nd, a livestream was supposed to celebrate Julie's birthday with what they called a fun, old-school hip-hop theme, but things quickly went in a direction that many found messed up. The members appeared wearing big gold chains, hats, and hairstyles like bantu knots and cornrows, looks that are a big part of Black culture, and started acting in a way many felt was mocking instead of honoring it. Some of their behavior, like calling a member Lil Taco Bell or putting on exaggerated mannerisms, drew heavy criticism and backlash from fans. Things got even more heated when messages from Belle a few days before the stream came to light. She had asked fans to look forward to Julie's birthday and not
because everyone, again, like, it's always controversial to do what you call that, these voices, like, to get into someone else's.
The accents.
To get into someone's accent.
Yeah, you saw Dochi doing an Asian accent. You guys were upset
to leave the fandom afterwards, which was taken as a sign that the group knew there might be controversy but chose to go forward anyway. Things didn't get any better after the controversy. In fact, they only got messier. S2 Entertainment quietly removed the live stream from all their channels and put out a statement the very next day, on April 3rd, apologizing for causing discomfort. They said their intent was to celebrate hip-hop culture, a big influence on Kiss of Life's music, but admitted they hadn't fully considered the cultural impact of their actions. The company promised that both the members and the team would be more careful and respectful in the future. That, however, didn't ease much of the backlash. Many felt the company's words fell flat, especially because the members hadn't directly addressed the controversy themselves. Following the backlash, shortly after, the group released their own handwritten apology letter on their Instagram account, stating that they were reflecting on their choices and would do better. But a lot of people criticized this too, pointing out that the members hadn't directly apologized to the communities they offended, and that their apologies came across as an afterthought, following the company's instead of a sincere expression of regret. Then, a few weeks later, Julie addressed the controversy directly.
So this video is basically dropped, early July, a couple days ago. So this is like summarizing half of the honestly, it should, the title of the video should be the most hated K-pop artist, would be the K-pop controversies first half of 2025 summarized, because that's what it's giving me.
reportedly during a live stream on May 31st. She explained that they wanted to wait until after their birthday streams to speak up and stress the importance of owning up to their actions. Then Julie apologized directly to the Black and Latino community and promised that the group was putting in the work to do better in the future. Some fans felt this was a step in the right direction, while others saw it as a way to ease the backlash, especially with a comeback on the horizon and following their removal from KCON due to the controversy. Some people believe the apologies were more about protecting their careers, while others appreciate that the members did what was expected. However, at the end of the day, it's up to each person affected to decide whether they're ready to forgive or move on from the controversy. Karina from ESPA also found herself caught up in
when it comes to that group, that I'm happy they came forward, and even their label also came forward too, and they did an apology. At first, the first one was very broad. I say, no, this is not an apology that's accountable. And then when they finally came up with an accountable apology, it makes me feel okay. They understand and they felt the repercussions of their actions. For me, I can move on and let go. Others can make a choice how they choose to move forward. But I do want to have an example where idols see, okay, you come forward, take accountability, and you're able to have a career after. You're able to show growth, you're able to move on. Because how I see how we're treating Chris of Life, if they're not able to like show their growth and be able to move forward, it doesn't show any reason for Blackpink to ever be accountable for what they did, because they say, look, you see, they came forward, they apologized, they did everything, and the people still don't let it go. Us, we're able to pretend it didn't never happen, just keep moving forward, and we're still able to have a career and move forward. So I do think there should be some sort of example, and an example of this that we saw is with BTS.
Yeah.
How they actually show growth, they pay homage, they took accountability, and it appears genuine to the point that if someone comes and say, oh, look what they did in the past, I say, no, I can look and see that they held themselves accountable and showed their growth. With BTS, they did a great job with that. I do think people have to take a page out of that book so they are able to move forward and to have a career for themselves and not carry this baggage. Because right now, you're carrying this baggage and people are unable to feel that they can let this go because you haven't held yourself accountable.
Yeah, I think it's not that people can't make mistakes. I think it's how you own up. But you can't sit here and say, "Oh, nobody can ever make a mistake." Come on, everybody made mistakes. I made mistakes. You made mistakes. You guys watching made mistakes. That, and even like the whole prison system, the point of the prison, accept you like murderer, you go for life. No, but if you commit like a petty crime, like a petty theft or something, the whole idea of the prison, at least idea in theory, what it's supposed to be, you go, you rehabilitate yourself, and you don't do it again. So kind of learn a lesson. So this is, people can make mistakes. You make a mistake, you just have to learn from it. And when you never address it, you never learn from it, because you're just like, oh, I made a mistake, I ignored it, everything was fine, I can do it again. That's the problem.
What I feel like is a life, they're in jail right now. They go in front of the board and say,
jail.
Yeah, K-pop jail. They go in front of the board, which is the people, the community, and say why they should be, relieved from this.
Yeah, get early parole release.
Early parole. Yeah. And then after they get their restitution, and then they can move on and, have a career and whatnot.
Controversy, all because of an Instagram post. On May 27th, Karina shared a few photos from a trip to Tokyo wearing a long white skirt and a red and black jersey with the number 2 on it alongside a single red rose emoji in her caption. To international fans, it seemed harmless, but in South Korea, the timing and details raised a lot of eyebrows.
Karina
As you might know, the
better
country was wrestling with political chaos for months. It all started when former President Yoon Suk-yeol was removed from office after his impeachment was finalized by the Constitutional Court.
Showing her privilege, out of sight, out of mind. These things, the politics do not affect her. She has the money. She's able to move around and live her best life and not have to suffer for what goes on with politics. So she just really showed herself, and I feel like, damn, she must be beating herself hard. But I don't know if she ever really apologized or anything.
She did on a little Weverse, I think, or whatever platform
Weverse?
she said. Yeah.
To the community. South Korea.
She said sorry for people affected or something like that.
in early April 2025, cutting his term short instead of letting him serve until 2027. Currently, a new president is already in place following the June 3rd election, which saw Lee Jae-myung of the Democratic Party defeating Kim Moon-soo from the People Power Party. Colors carry heavy political weight in South Korea during election time, with red signaling conservatism, while blue stands for the liberal side, which is why many celebrities avoid wearing them during campaigns or making gestures that could be misunderstood. Some even avoid making peace signs in
Bloods versus
photos, worried
Crips,
it might be seen as a show of support for candidate number 2, the number used by the Conservative Party on the ballot. So when she shared a picture wearing a red jersey with the number 2 alongside a rose emoji, many people saw it as a political message, whether intentional or not. The rose had already become a symbol for the Conservative People Power Party during their Rose election campaign, and as mentioned, the number 2 was their candidate's spot on the ballot. So a lot of fans felt Karina was openly signaling her support, especially with the growing political tensions at the time, and the backlash was immediate. It certainly didn't help that the party's spokesperson shared 2 posts featuring aespa and their music, while some of their most extremist supporters began using her image to promote their own right-wing political beliefs. SM Entertainment then rushed to clear things up, stating there was no hidden agenda and that Karina had removed the photo to avoid further confusion, but it didn't help all that much. Karina herself eventually addressed the controversy on Bubble, a fan-paid platform. She apologized for causing concern, insisted there was no political intent, and explained that the backlash
paid platform.
Yeah, but I said Vverse, I guess it's Bubble, same thing. Whatever.
had grown much bigger than she expected. Karina also promised to be more careful in the future.
But I will say though, these apologies and like statements made on Bubble to me it's meaningless. It's like same as we had the Bang Chan came out and he made a statement about the whole DC situation on Bubble, and everybody's like, oh, he's calling out the stadium or whatever. He ain't calling out nobody. He's mumbling. You want to calling out, you want to apologize, you go do it on the public platform, not on the paid platform.
Korean netizens and international fans felt the response fell short, noting it was brief, delayed, and that she hadn't directly denounced those who used her image to promote their own agendas. Some even drew a comparison to her much more lengthy handwritten Instagram letter following dating rumors with actor Lee Dae-wook, wondering why this incident hadn't gotten the same depth of explanation. At this point, only time will tell if this controversy will have a lasting impact on Karina's career or if she'll move past it unscathed. This scandal happened pretty recently, but it turned someone who's usually one of the most beloved idols into a big topic of controversy. BTS's Jungkook had just gotten discharged from the military and was
Okay, yeah, this video is not most hated idol. Jungkook, there was no hate towards Jungkook. We're gonna talk about the whole Sasang that tried to break in. Like, come on, it's just an incident. There's no hate towards him.
Was already back to performing. On June 13th, he made a surprise appearance
No,
at the
this
first
is
night
about
of
the
J-Hope's
hat.
Hope on the Stage final
Oh, the
concert at Goyang
hat.
Sports
Yeah, he
Complex.
took it
During
out
the
for that
rehearsal
one.
before the
Oh,
show,
my
Jungkook
bad,
was seen wearing
guys.
a hat with the phrase
Yeah,
"Make
that's my
Tokyo
fault.
Great Again" on
I
it. The
assume.
phrase, which is a play on U.S.
Yeah.
President Donald Trump's "Make
Okay,
America
yeah,
Great Again"
I completely forgot about this. Yeah, he did, guy. Oh, and the hate for this, the backlash was deservedly so. He had to take that L. Yeah.
Sorry,
slogan has
dude.
frequently been used by Japanese far-right figures, a fact that drew a ton of backlash and criticism. Jungkook didn't let the controversy continue though, and he addressed it almost immediately by posting an apology on Weverse at 2 a.m. In his
So
Weverse is accessible to everybody.
no, paid platform.
Paid platform.
Once
Dang.
again, yeah.
Ah.
Is
But
it
then
paid? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think they have a free version,
Okay.
but go ahead.
So, but you know, the media, the blogs should like capture that and put it in the bigger,
The apology?
bigger news platforms. No, is it like maybe I don't know, because I don't know how I feel when you put a apology on like a paid platform.
Well, okay, so
behind a paywall.
I feel like he should have put the apology, and anybody, like if it's Korea target apology, should put the most popular Korean social media platform. If
Which,
Weverse,
is it
if
Weverse?
that's Weverse, then that's fine. Yeah, I don't know. But if it's something else, then you gotta put it on that. So like, for example, I borrowed Bang Chan, but if Bang Chan, he was kind of trying to shade here the American DC stadium or
No, I
whatever,
saw that.
it has to be on Twitter because it is American most or Twitter or Instagram, like America, TikTok, American platform. Now, if for Jungkook's case, he's addressing Korean people here. He's not addressing the rest of the world because we don't know the situations with the Tokyo versus not Tokyo, Japan versus Korea. We don't really know, nor do we care. So he's addressing Koreans. So he has to put on Korean social media. If that's Weverse, then it's cool. If it's not, then Naver, I don't know what social media they use most in Korea. He has to put it on that.
message, he apologized for causing disappointment and discomfort
But
with the
I feel Jungkook handled it well. He apologized immediately. He didn't duck it. Again, not for me to take that apology. I wasn't the one offended. But if the Korean
Because-
population forgave him, then
Someone gave him a hat
yeah.
and he would just put on the hat. That's so unfortunate.
This is something a mistake any of us can do, but we would not face the same repercussions because we don't have the platform that he does. Like I might, my friend gives me a hat, I might wear it without knowing it.
Yeah, I just need to know who gave him the hat.
Right, but
who gave him the hat?
I might get into trouble, but in trouble by who? You would, like I don't have the platform Jungkook does, to get into trouble like he does. So it's a silly mistake, but he has to own up. He did own up, and no, it is what it is.
Phrase on his hat. He explained that he hadn't been aware of its historical or political significance and called his choice a shortcoming. Jungkook made it clear there were no excuses for his actions and openly admitted he had been careless and lacking in understanding. And he let everyone know that he was accepting the criticism, reflecting on his mistake, and that he had disposed of the hat. In the end, while the controversy drew a lot of attention, it became a moment for Jungkook to address the situation, take responsibility for his actions, and move forward. Despite his quick apology, Jungkook wasn't let off the hook that easily. Many people called him out, stating that he's grown up and should be more careful with his choices, especially considering his huge influence. In fact, even amid the controversy, the hat ended up selling out completely, and the brand had to clarify that the phrase was meant as satirical and didn't reflect their beliefs. At the same time, Jungkook's fans rushed to his defense, pointing out that he had apologized before the controversy even grew bigger. To them, his apology was sincere and responsible, as according to them, he directly addressed the issue, admitted he was in the wrong, took accountability, stayed open to criticism, and made it clear where he stood on the matter. What do you think was...
So this whole video was basically like the past 2 months. So was the first couple months of the year just so quiet?
Quiet it was. Because remember,
I feel like it was mostly new jeans.
Yeah, it was quiet. No, I was a time where I was still able to listen to Blackpink.
In your area, no longer. Not in my
I was
area.
listening to Blackpink, It's Alive, and then I'm like, bloop, 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 bloop.
Now I only got.
I'm listening to Twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
Got Hands Up.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And Zoe. Share as much kindness as possible.